Apologies, I think the agenda I sent out earlier today is not the correct one. I thought I sent it. Yeah, the one I have saved was correct. I have no idea why this one was incorrect. I think I can put it in the chat. I can't. Okay, so I put the updated agenda in the chat for everyone. It's not too much different. Just want to provide a few updates on a few things, but I'm going to give everybody just about 3 or 4 more minutes to make sure everyone gets in, and then we can get started.
Hey, good evening, Alejandro. It's Khalid. I know that you just stepped away. Yeah, the agenda that we received from you was a copy from the February. Was that incorrect? You're muted. You're muted.
Let me just double check. I might have made a mistake when I might not have hit the save button when I sent it out.
Oh, okay.
That, you know what? That's what it was. And I think I sent the wrong copy.
Got it. Okay, all right. Yeah, because I saw that. I figured it would make sense given the timeline, so I just updated the dates. But okay, all right then.
Yeah, apologies. That was my mistake. I know I updated. I was like, wait, what's going on? I think I just selected the wrong one. So the only difference is just it's going to add a section. We're not really going to discuss associated because I don't really have any meaningful updates on that. And then
Right.
adding a discussion on 960 Franklin.
Understood. Okay.
And just any updates, but I don't, I think we're supposed to have a meeting tomorrow for the exec committee.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay, all right then. I'm on standby. Just let me know if anything.
Okay. Thanks. Hey, Migdalia, how you doing? You're muted. Migdalia, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Oh. I would say you look nice and fresh while I look like a mess.
I have a date after this, so.
Okay, I hear that. I hear that. Good for you. My date is with the bed. I'm getting ready to go to bed.
I think we can go ahead and get started. And if anybody else trickles in, I can quickly update them. So apologies again, I'll just go ahead and post it in the chat just one more time. I made a mistake when I sent out the agenda. Okay, now it's not wanting to go in. It should be up there. So I made a mistake. I saw the original agenda earlier today. It was the one from February, not the one for today. But essentially, the new one is just the proper agenda for today is just going to be discussing some quick updates on 960 Franklin. From my understanding, there's something that's changed. I'm not aware of what exactly. Fred has reached out to the executive committee, and I think we're supposed to be meeting tomorrow at like 5:30 to quickly discuss issues with the 960 Franklin process. I'm unsure of what exactly that entails. I just got an email, and this has to be part of the open meeting, so it's obviously going to be open to everybody, but I'm unsure of what exactly is going on. So from my understanding right now with the TRO, we can obviously discuss the development. We can talk about the issues surrounding the development. We can talk, and talk or use committee time. We just can't do any formal voting or any kind of formal process around it until the TRO is lifted. I attended the last ULURP meeting, presented the presentation that I gave 2 months ago and went over a bit in a little bit more detail last month. I think a lot of people found it really helpful so that they could see the exact impacts in terms of affordable housing. And then, so, until the TRO is lifted and the clock restarts, I'm not sure what is going to be going on. I think there's one thing I was going to flag. Is my only concern is that once we start, or once after we adjourn in June, it'll be 2 months before we meet again because of the traditional summer break. So we have July and August off. So it means we won't reconvene until September after Labor Day. My concern is that if the TRO is lifted in the middle of the summer, the ULURP process will then potentially commence right in the middle of like when we're supposed to be all out on, our summer vacations and, getting back out and having a good summer. So that's one of the things. I don't know if anybody else has any other concerns about the process or where it's at right now that they'd like to talk about or convey.
Is that the 960 building we're talking, the 960
Yeah.
Franklin? Yeah, what's the latest?
Well, that's what I was saying is that as far as I know, the injunction is still in place.
Okay.
And so while the injunction is placed, everything it's basically like it was frozen in time.
Right.
None of the clock is counting. And the community board can't really do much formally in terms of the approval process or anything like that. So, that those are the only concerns that I have is that, if they appeal the restraining order and the appeal is granted over the summer, it would be harder for the committees and the community board to meet and discuss. So that's my only concern. And I'm going to try and get more information tomorrow from this executive meeting that we're meeting about. I honestly do not know what it's about. And so I'll email the committee more details once I find out.
Okay.
So other than that, I think it's in the same place it's been for the last 2 months. I was hoping Alicia would be here to maybe help us give us some update on the case.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, but there's only one of her, and she's always everywhere. So
yeah.
Okay, so the next item I had on the agenda, I had reached out, and actually I've already emailed them, but I haven't gotten back to me. Hold on one second. an information session for tenant resources at the next meeting. So I had emailed the State Senators Eleanor Myrie's constituent services person and Assemblywoman Diana Richardson's as well, to see if they would provide somebody from their office to help discuss what was included in the most recent budget that will allow homeowners, tenants, and others to be able to avoid either foreclosure or back owed rent or eviction proceedings, and how they can access some of the money that was set aside. They haven't gotten back to me. It was earlier this week. So hopefully, if not, I'll keep bugging them. This is something I really want to make a priority for our June meeting. So I want to have, especially confirming it early so I can at least push it at the next board meeting so that everybody knows to come to the next housing meeting if they want to learn more. And then we can also record it and disseminate the recording, hopefully. Does anybody have any other suggestions of people I should reach out to? I could probably reach out to Farah Souffrant's office, but since this is a state issue, I don't think it's helpful to necessarily reach out to the city council members.
Right. Yeah. They're just gonna refer you to the state.
Right. But Alejandro, this is good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I just wanted, you did mention homeowners, which is good. You do know that we're a Mitchell-Lama co-op and at my development. And we've been experiencing a lot of issues as far as non-payment. It's ironic that the majority of the payment was prior to COVID. The outstanding amount was prior to COVID. And with the courts shutting down, we are like, I'd say $500,000 or more that's been owing. We have shareholders that have been somehow when they go to court, the court system are treating them like they're in a rent stabilized building instead of they have misconstrued the affordable part of the laws, and they're not looking at the fact that these are really shareholders who are really homeowners because you own part of the shares in the co-op. We've been having a really, really tough time with the courts. And now that they're, I think they're just slowly opening up again. We've had several evictions put on hold. We're not, if we can work in getting the collection, that's our goal. It's not really to put anybody out, especially in this time. So in speaking to some of the court officers and judges, I realize now that they're getting legal aid. Everyone who goes to court now is getting a legal aid.
Right. I believe they advanced the universal access. So they passed a new bill that should mean, but the zip code here, everybody already had access to it before.
Right. So I'm wondering how best we could have some sort, because it's just a misunderstanding or misclassification of the development as a Mitchell-Lama and the rules that govern it, which is separate from the rules of other housing, regular housing.
Right. So I'm not as familiar with that. What I could potentially try and do is at the beginning of this cycle, I guess would be like October, I had we had a panel consisting of legal services attorneys and Crown Heights tenants union. I may invite them again if people may find that helpful. We can have folks from the state legislators' offices, and then I can try and invite one or two more attorneys that are working in tenant protection, and then somebody
But
from.
it's not really so tenant protection because we're supervised by home care renewal, home and HCR. We're supervised by HCR, so it's not as if it's a tenant per se.
Right.
But that's the rules that they are applying.
Yeah, I'm unsure. I'm honestly, this is not an area that I'm familiar with.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna take some notes down. And hopefully if I get some communications back from Senator Zelnor Meyer's office and Diana Richardson's office, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and ask if they have anybody can forward, and maybe it'd be helpful if you were able to speak with them directly. I can connect them with you.
Oh, sure, no problem. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. And then in terms of anything else for the information sessions, are there any other suggestions anybody thinks we should have? Anything that I'm missing?
What was on the list again? Refresh my, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so right now I had Senator Zelnor Myrie office and Assemblywoman Diana Richardson. I could do additional outreach to Assemblywoman Farah Souffrant-Forrest's office, and then I could see if any legal aid or Crown Heights Tenants Union wants to be a part. But I'm just saying I don't want to invite like 10 people and you know, it'd be very difficult to coordinate. So I was just wondering what suggestions there would be from the other folks here.
Well, do we have any in our district any public housing?
Don't believe we have public housing in CBI.
I don't think we do. I think we have shelters though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think we have. But so, I mean, we could go with that for the time being as far as reaching out and getting some sort of just assistance or information regarding, you know, the court system and the tenants and how to proceed. That would probably be.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess what I can do is I can reach out to some of my former colleagues at Legal Services or at NILAG and see if they would be interested, and then I'll see if Crown Heights Tenants PAC or not Tenants PAC, a Tenants Union would like to and then I'm going to work with the CB9 office to promote this, so we have enough lead time. So it'll be June 2nd is our next meeting. And so that'll be our last meeting before we adjourn for the summer. Okay. So those are the two main topics I had on the agenda for today. Then beyond that, if there was, I think you already brought up the issue with the Mitchell Lama housing being treated as regular tenancies and causing issues. Is there any other particular issues people have been seeing in terms of housing? I think Migdalia, you had that the raccoons going on at
No, that's gone. The raccoon is gone, And they haven't started developing yet. I keep checking the building. I guess they haven't gotten no permit. So something's happening there. Thank God. At least I can get sun for the summer.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I wanted to mention, I don't know whether CB9 is involved with the cease and desist bill that Kevin Parker put through. And I wanted to know, does it include us? At one point I saw 11225, and then when I looked at it again, I didn't see 11225.
So I'm unfamiliar with this. Are you able to explain what it is?
The cease and desist is that real estates, anybody, no one can, any real estate or anybody who's want to purchase houses can come to our house or call our house, the homeowners, and it's happening really bad right now. What's happening right now for what they're doing to the seniors, they're literally knocking on their door. I have someone on tape, because somebody taped them from their camera, where he's knocking and putting paper, notices that they want to purchase their house. Some of the seniors some of them are 90 years old. They're getting called and saying, we can give you money. We know you can't afford your house. This will be better, and we buy it from you. So they're literally coming to our homes now. So what we did was we're putting these signs outside that says our house is not for sale. So I know that Kevin had put a bill through, cease and desist.
Yeah.
You see
I
it?
just looked it up.
Yeah.
Senator Zolder-Meyer is a co-sponsor.
Yes.
It has passed the Senate. It has not passed the Assembly. So right now it has to pass the Assembly before it can go to the governor's office for signature. So my suggestion, and you were right, our zip code is in it, 11225.
Good.
And so
I
within
thought,
90 days.
yeah, I thought that Diana also had because she was giving out the pamphlets or the notice for you to put in your window as well. This house is not for sale. So I think she, as the Assembly person, I think she probably is involved. You may just want to see where her office is, but I'm sure she's on board with that too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she's supporting this.
She is, because she was giving out a lot of the flyers to put in your window.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, if people are in favor of this, I would recommend, calling her office, particularly her Albany office, to express support. Also, if you're in Paris Front on closer to the Botanical Gardens, call her office. I don't see why none of them would be against this. It's already passed the Senate, but obviously the session is going to be winding down. It usually ends in early June.
Oh, wow.
So time is running short. Just my personal opinion, this seems like a really good bill to stop, the kind of relentless pursuit of seniors' homes.
I'll touch base tomorrow, and I have the young man on video, the one that was knocking on the senior's home, literally knocking at night while he was walking his Doberman Pinscher. Or walking his dog. Oh boy. I mean, that's kind of late to be knocking on a senior's house, because they get frightened when they see, So I'll send it to their office.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks
It's just
for
something for people to be aware of. That's all.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'll definitely also make a highlight of that at the full community board meeting.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll have passed the Assembly, but if it hasn't, I'll make sure people know about this bill at the full community board meeting. When I'm doing the report back. We haven't, as far as I heard at the last exec meeting, there's been no update on the Associated here on Nostrand. It's still full. Everything is well stocked.
Oh, okay.
So I think basically they just said F it, and there's the commercial eviction ban still in place.
Mhm.
And with probably the dozens or not even dozens, probably the hundreds or even thousands of commercial evictions that also need to go through, they probably just figured that they can just continue to stay there indefinitely
Okay, I hope
until a
so.
court orders them to be removed. So,
That's
you
good.
know, we haven't heard anything. Apparently, Fred and the community board has sent stuff to the Associated, and they didn't respond. Khalid, have you gotten anything back, or has there been any update at all on that?
I'm sorry, Alejandro, please repeat that.
Yeah, no, I was just asking about the Associated. I know there was like a communication sent to them and there was no response as of the last executive meeting, but I was wondering if there's been any update.
Oh, yes, most definitely. We have not received any correspondence or updates regarding Associated. So we're also on standby for any further information from their liaisons or representatives.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
No problem.
so, yeah, again, I think they're just gonna stay there until a court orders them to leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're still there, and Baskin Robbins pints are on sale. For those who need their Jamocha almond fudge.
I got 30 minutes. I need to run over there and get some.
That's right.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I just hope at least through the summer because it's so convenient. Like I just had a barbecue the other weekend on the roof and I just was nice to be able to run, you know, right there to get stuff really quickly.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
can't imagine
absolutely.
trying to do stuff this summer without that.
I mean, where would you shop if they were to close, God forbid? You have to come to Franklin?
Yeah, I'd have to
Yeah.
go to the one on
Wow.
Franklin.
Wow.
Or I might go for just basics that's like cans and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I might just go to Western Beef.
Wow. Okay. That's a
Yeah, there's
shame.
not really great options nearby.
No, there is, yeah, you're right about that. Wow. Sad. Wow.
Okay. So is there any other issues anyone has?
I wanted to ask if for some reason the injunction is lifted from 960 Franklin during the summer, like while we're adjourned, what then happens? Would there be special meetings or?
So that's something I'm gonna have to clarify, and that's one of the things we're having an executive meeting about, an update to the situation that I'm unfamiliar with. So that's one of the questions I'm gonna be asking. Because I know originally, one of the things that was part of the ULURP process update that was voted in the referendum in 2019 was that the process couldn't start in the summer when the community boards were out. Because that had been an abuse that sometimes they had done. They had tried to game it to release their certification in late June so that community boards historically weren't able to offer as much constructive input. And so what it allowed was that it would postpone the start date. If it was approved, I think like after a certain date in June, it wouldn't start the clock until I think August 30th or something like that. I would have to double check. I could be mistaken, but I remember that being a component of that particular ULURP reform process as part of the city charter. But that's something I really want to get more information on.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. In terms of anything else, any other issues anyone is encountering?
Nope.
Okay, so I think that's it for our agenda meetings. I'm going to continue putting together the tenant resources forum for our next housing meeting. If anybody else has any agenda items they'd like to add for our last meeting before we adjourn for the summer, please let me know. Otherwise, I think we're done a little early today.
Yes. Good, because I'm tired.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, everyone enjoy the evening.
All right,
Thank
have a
you.
great evening,
Get
everyone.
to
Thank you
go
so
and
much.
enjoy your date, Alejandro.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.